All right. The proceedings this morning are being live streamed on YouTube. And number 22, Eddie Batras versus Stephanie Lender. You're muted, Mr. Noble.
Sorry, Judge. Nathan Noble on behalf of plaintiff.
Attorney Mason,
Good morning, Your Honor.
you want to state your appearance for the defendant?
Janet Mason here on behalf of the defendant who is here in court on Zoom.
Thank you. As is the landlord with Mr. Noble. Is that correct?
Yes, Judge.
All right, we are here for a bench trial in this matter. So I'm going to begin by swearing your respective clients. If both of you are swearing in, if both of you would raise your right hands. Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give in this matter will be true and correct to the best of your knowledge and belief?
Yes. Yes, sir.
Yes.
Thank you, Ms. Linder. Now, I will, before we get underway, indicate that I received copies of exhibits on behalf of the defendant in this case, including something on a flash drive. I will admit that I haven't looked at any of them as of yet, but I have them. All right, and it's my understanding that Mr. Noble got copies of those as well.
I believe so, Judge, although this is the nature of Zoom. Until I know what's really on your flash drive, I don't really know unless I see it, but yeah.
I'm going to guess it's all the same.
I probably, so.
Okay.
It's videos that I sent you via email, Nathan.
Okay.
Thank
All
you.
righty. So Mr. Noble, you represent the plaintiff. It's your burden. You may begin.
Yes, Judge. I'd like to call the defendant adversely first, Ms. Lender.
Hi.
Go ahead. She's unmuted.
Okay. Please state your name for the record.
Stephanie Lender.
Do you have a copy of the complaint for eviction that was served on you in this matter?
A copy of a complaint eviction? No.
The lawsuit that was served on you. You don't have a copy?
What did it look like?
That.
It was the summons and complaint that were served on you.
I think so. I think so. I believe so.
Okay. Well, regardless, did you take a look at it after you were served?
I didn't actually get served. No one came to me personally and handed me any documents. So when did I get served?
Okay. I'll strike that. I'll move to a different line of questioning. Isn't it true you entered into a rent agreement that I would say purportedly was attached as Exhibit A to the complaint, dated the 14th of May, 2025 with my client?
Yes, I have a lease, correct.
Okay. And did you sign that lease?
Correct.
And to your knowledge, did my client sign that lease, Mr. Batras?
Yes.
And it looks like it was signed actually on the 13th of March of 2025 on the last signature page, correct?
I believe so.
Were the terms of rent, or what was the amount of rent per month that you believe you were agreeing to pay?
It was $2,000 plus 155 with HOA fees.
Okay. And you moved in March, is that true, for 2025?
Either March or March. Yeah, I believe so.
Okay, and you began paying rent as well as the HOA, at least at that point going forward?
I always paid rent up until November.
Okay, yeah, at some point, I believe you're correctly stating in November of 2025, you stopped paying rent and or the homeowners association dues, is
No,
that true?
no, the HOA fees are already paid off, actually. Those are already paid off. I won $500, as Eddie knows, when I first became, a member of the Candlewick Lake. And I won a $500 gift card, and that went into my HOA fees as well. So I'm all paid up with my HOA fees.
Okay, but it is true, at least for November, after November, no rent's been paid to my client, correct?
Correct.
Okay. Do you remember receiving, or who's Daniel?
Daniel's a
Nickel.
friend of mine. He actually helps me around the house, does maintenance in the yard.
Okay, does he live with you?
No, he does not live with me.
Has he been at your house?
Of course,
Was he at your house November 18th, 2025?
I couldn't remember.
Okay. Did you receive a copy of a 5-day notice for non-payment of rent?
Did I receive it personally in my hand? I did not receive it in my hand.
Correct. Did you see a copy of the 5-day notice attached to the complaint as Exhibit B on or about November 18th, 2025?
Maybe, yeah, probably.
Okay. Did you receive on or about November 18th, 2025 a copy of a 20-day notice to quit?
Yeah, I remember that one.
Okay,
I
that one
didn't
was
receive it to my hands either. Everything was just placed on my porch and stuff. So
okay. Did you have pets on the premises?
I don't have pets. I didn't have pets that live there or reside there. My daughter was actually doing, she was volunteering to help a friend of mine.
And you acknowledge, excuse me, you acknowledge was rent not paid for October of 2025?
Yeah, like I mentioned, my last payment was in October. I have a receipt of October being my last payment.
Okay, and when did you make that payment?
It says 10/4/25 of $2,000.
I know, but where did you pay that, cash?
Yeah, I always pay in cash, and my mom actually went this time to the office and paid directly, and that's why we have a receipt.
Okay. And you did not pay for November, correct?
Correct.
Okay. You've never had any pets, is that true?
Again, I don't have pets. No pets live here. No pets reside here.
Okay. Are you still living in the property currently?
I'm actually starting to move my things, but I have been living with my friends. I haven't actually been staying here. The whole basement isn't healthy. It's got mold everywhere.
Okay, so you believe the property you don't want to stay there, fair enough?
I don't want to stay here. Correct.
Okay. When's the first time that you let my client know of a mold problem?
Since May.
Right after you moved in?
Right after. I have videos, text message proofs of when the first mold, I saw it underneath the staircase. I sent him a full video of it.
And isn't it true he had someone come out to do remediation?
No, not yet. Not that same following month. Actually, he had 2 handymans come in and just put bleach which bleach really doesn't do anything to mold. And then he stated that he was going to have them come back and paint it, and they never came and painted that.
Okay, so, but after your complaint, at some point, my client apparently sent some handyman to put bleach down on what you thought was mold, correct?
Correct.
Did you test any of this stuff to see what type of mold it was?
I didn't, but he had Chaz from HOI come months afterwards, and
What's HOI?
You should probably ask him. He's the one that
Sure. Well, you're testifying. So is HOI a remediation mold company?
Correct.
Okay. So my client sent someone named Chaz from a mold remediation company to come out, correct?
Correct.
And what happened after that?
He came, he tested it, pretty much left. We had a few text messages in between. He told me what kind of mold it was. He told me that it needed to be remediated from the ground up to like 18 inches taken out. It has to be all, constructed. And he told me that Eddie didn't want him to do it, that he wanted
Objection to hearsay at this point. Did you see him spray fungicide to help kill surface mold on the baseboards?
No, he didn't. No.
No, he didn't? Okay.
I didn't see anything being, all I know is what he tested, what he told me it was, and he wasn't able to do absolutely nothing.
So a mold remediation person did come out and you met with them, correct?
Correct. And all he did was test.
When was that?
Okay, let's see.
Just approximate month.
October, probably in October.
Okay.
I don't understand.
And you were not satisfied with the results of what was ultimately done or not done. True?
I mean, 6 months later, that's not the way you should remediate it. All he did was take the trim off, expose the mold, and I started to see all the mold on all the wall, on all the trim. So he actually exposed it more until Eddie decided to come back from his vacation, and finally something was done after another month and a half or so afterwards.
And what was that something that was done?
His two handymans came, which they've complained to me about Eddie, that he doesn't pay them either. And, that's why I feel like they didn't really want to come by and fix things. That's how I felt about it. But they only came here, took off what they could see of the mold. They only cut off the baseboard and I literally saw the mold on like the actual wood stud still. And all they did was place new boards. They didn't even like actually look on any of the other trim that I ended up looking, and I found more mold on the other side of the trim. They didn't finish the bathroom, and then I saw more mold. So technically, I really don't know where all the mold is at, only what I can visibly see. So I don't know if the whole basement is filled with mold.
Okay. And you've never paid for any sort of mold test, true?
No, I always called a bunch of companies, and they said because it's not my house, they can't really do much for me. I said, well, I have trim here that you guys can take with you. They said, we can't take anything out because you're not the owner of the house.
So from May of 2020,
I'm not allowed to do any remedies on his house.
Okay, so from May of 2025 to, well, let me strike that. When did you move out, if you did?
I've been just staying at my friend's house occasionally, but my daughter's school is in North Boone. My friends are in Rockford. That's a 40-minute drive. So I had to come back. I come back occasionally. I've been packing occasionally. So I actually am packing, Eddie. I'm trying to leave you your house so you can fix your house.
Okay. And I think you said your daughter's attending North Boone High School?
Yes.
You have to keep an address within the school district to allow her to continue to attend there. Is that true?
And that's not my only thing. It's the fact that I have to drive from Rockford now. It's inconvenience because now I found a place, and I have to drive from Rockford all the way to Candlewick, and that's a 40-minute drive.
Okay. Isn't it true, despite knowing there was mold in 2000, or at least allegedly 2025, approximately spring, right after you moved in, you wanted to stay there because you could find no other place, and you wanted your daughter to remain at the school district she's currently attending?
I'm sorry, Noble. That's not true. I didn't know the severity of the mold. I just thought Eddie was going to fix it because that's what my landlord's supposed to do. And I kept asking him, and he kept giving me excuses. And it was always 2 weeks. They have projects to do, 2 weeks. And every time I hit him up, it was always, oh, they're not ready. They're not ready. The garage never got done. They never finished doing the power washing. They never finished painting. Like there were so many things that were not finished in this house. I have text message. Everything is shown there. How many times I've asked him to come and fix everything, and he never once did. And it was like the mold wasn't even if the mold wasn't even important to him, it was like everything else. I felt like he was just trying to evict me. Like he was trying to find ways to evict me. I've always paid my rent on time. I bought new furniture for this place, and I don't even know if my furniture is good anymore.
Okay. Have you found a new place yet?
I have.
Okay. I mean, what's your end goal at this point with regards to this lawsuit against you?
Well, honestly, any compensation, I would like my deposit back. Like I've said, I've been living here since, May, and I've had mold since I've lived here. My daughter has asthma, so I don't even know if in the near future she's going to be okay. I was sick for some time when I was here. So honestly, I don't know. It's whatever my lawyer wants to do.
Did you go see a doctor or?
I have plenty of times, and I've asked for testing, mold testing, and they only wanted to do an x-ray, and it was really hard, honestly.
Okay. If you were so worried about the place not being safe, why did you continue to stay there?
Like I mentioned, I've stayed at my friend's house multiple times, and the driving, my gas, taking my daughter from Rockford to North Boone was a struggle. I'm also going through a divorce. Again, he should know. I mean, Eddie, you knew that you bought this house 3 years ago, and you knew it had a foundation. It leaked. There was flood. My neighbor told me about it. So, I wish you would have done a better job.
Excuse me. Did you say there was blood?
No, flood.
Flood.
It flooded. This house flooded.
Okay. You brought up something. I'll try to keep it very limited, Judge, but I believe it's maybe relevant. When was the divorce filed?
About almost 7 months ago. I've been going through a divorce, and that's why I moved here.
Okay, understood. So the person you're getting divorced with never lived at this address. Is that true?
No.
Okay, understood.
It's my money to move in. That's why I couldn't move in now.
Did you pay the? Do you intend on paying any rent for the amount complained in the complaint through current?
Why would I pay if I've asked him multiple times to come fix this?
Okay, I'll ask this question. If you noticed mold and weren't happy with my client's efforts, including apparently a handyman coming multiple times, as well as a mold remediation specialist in removing apparently a lot of the drywall, why did you continue to stay there and pay rent from May all the way to?
Because this is all I had. I've been moving. I didn't expect this house to not be able to be livable. That's not my problem. I'm not the landlord here. I moved in thinking this house was going to be perfect spot. I didn't know this was going to happen. I didn't know 1 month living, I was going to find leaking problems. I was going to find mold problems, everything. There's little things that kept happening. My toilet kept running over and over for no reason. It just kept flushing. My water bill became high. There were so many problems. I kept paying because I love living here, because I love this house. It was enough for me and my family. But then it got to a point where he kept giving me excuses, never finished the garage. It was excuse after excuse after excuse. I got to a point where why am I paying $2,000 to live somewhere where I shouldn't even, I can't even breathe right when I'm in this house. And now, I finally found, because it was hard for me to find for 2 months. It was hard for me to find a place.
Okay.
And I had set all the rent to the side. It's not that I didn't have it, but I was hoping that it would actually he would actually have professional, because I asked him multiple times, can you please have professional people come and fix this problem? And he didn't want to do that. He wanted to go the cheap way.
Okay.
So yeah, now I have to pay $5,000 plus lump sum more to move into this new place. I would love my deposit back. And
Again, I've asked 2 times, but I don't know that I'm getting a consistent answer. I know you said you've stayed with another person, and apparently as far back as May of 2025, at least in my understanding of your testimony, are you, and you're still maintaining a residence there for purposes of school placement for your daughter? Is that true?
because all of my belongings are in this house.
Okay. So you said you
And
have found a new place?
I finally found a new place, correct?
Okay. Are you scheduled to move into that new place anytime soon?
Yes, the beginning of the month,
Which month?
next month.
Okay. So March 1st or thereabouts?
February 1st.
February 1st?
But yeah,
Okay. My client's showing me a picture of a dog. I'm just going to show it to the. Do
You
you
know,
recognize that
So,
dog or
but
not?
that has nothing to do with anything. That's what I mentioned to you. My daughter was taking care of that dog. And on top of that, Eddie was in my property without letting me know in my backyard, which I have pictures of him sending me when he was in my backyard without letting me know, a 24-hour notice, because he likes to show up at my property without a 24-hour notice. He's done it about 4 times now. Just pops up at my house without letting me know. And yes, he sent me a picture in my backyard, taking a picture of Karina when she was in my yard. You know what
Who's Karina?
Karina is a dog that my daughter was taking care
Oh,
of.
okay.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Oh, so that picture of that dog was Karina, correct?
Correct.
Okay. And that's in front of.
The house, but there's another one. I mean, if Eddie wants to show you the one where he's in the back of my yard.
Oh, showing another dog or the same dog?
No, it's the same dog.
Okay.
Yeah, he's in my property without letting me know, just spying on me, it seems like.
Okay. So you did have pets on the property, but apparently there were someone else's pets in your.
You see that? He's in the
Yes.
back of my yard,
Okay, so there's pets.
unannounced, without letting me know.
Okay, so there's pets in the back of your yard during the term of the lease, correct?
During
Was your,
yes, okay, hold on. So
was your daughter paid for these pets being there?
yeah, she was getting paid for it.
Okay.
She was having a job, a normal job. She was just coming by to say hi to me, bringing Karina over, you know. Outside, she wasn't even inside the house. Never came inside the house.
How long, how much time did Karina spend at your house?
It wasn't much. It was honestly, it was just when my daughter had to walk the dog. Then she would come say hi and then she would leave and then continue to walk the dog. She only did walking.
The dog ever stay there overnight?
Nope.
Is the dog a pit bull?
Yeah, she's a pit bull.
Isn't it true the lease specifically says no pits, no pit bulls?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
Do you
But
have
what was
anything?
that? Eddie continued to take my rent, and in the lease it says a 20-day remedy. I know what the lease says. My daughter finally, after Eddie said something about it, that was it. That was the last of it. Karina was no longer at the premise. She didn't stop by anymore. There was no more dog walks. My daughter, no more. She didn't work anymore after that. That was the end of it. I made sure that Eddie knew, and I told him, no worries. She was gone.
Do you have anything else that you want to say or tell the judge that you haven't already stated?
No, Judge, I don't.
Okay. I have no more questions for the defendant.
Counsel, would you like to, do some sort of direct of your client at this time?
I would, Your Honor, if that's all right with you.
Please.
Okay. All right. So Stephanie, what month of 2025 did you and your ex-husband file for divorce?
We filed divorce in 2024 around October.
Okay. So was this the first place that you were renting after you had filed for divorce? Okay. Is that case still pending? It's not resolved?
Oh, it's still pending.
Okay. So when you entered into your lease agreement in March for beginning of occupancy in April 1st, the first video, which is one of the things on the flash drive, Your Honor, is it on around May 31st that you noticed there was mold in the downstairs portion of the unit or the house, correct? Okay. And so after that, if you will direct your attention to Exhibit A that I had provided to counsel and to Your Honor, Stephanie, on or around, and I sent you a copy of the exhibits as well. They're going off your text messages. The first text messages, I know they're in Spanish, but can you tell me on June 5th, what was your request? Because you're saying May 31st, you sent in the video of the mold. I think you already testified that he had sent somebody to come out with bleach, but that he had made a representation that he was going to come out and paint the mold. So on June 5th, if you'll look at your own text messages and the exhibits that I had prepared, what were you requesting in Spanish of Eddie?
Let's see, June 5th. I asked when someone's going to come and fix the closet and paint the mold.
Okay, so as of June 5th, he'd already made representations that he was going to take care of some sort of painting of the mold, because as at that point, and I included the clip of what was sent to Your Honor and as well to Mr. Noble of what the basement storage area looked like with the black mold underneath the wood recesses. So it's one of the video clips that I had sent to you.
I'll object as to characterization, as to black mold, and as to narrative at this point.
Okay. A picture or video of what the basement looked like at that time. Okay. So that was on May 31st. He made the representation, then via text message, he's going to have somebody come out and paint. Just a little bit after that, around June 12th, Stephanie, did Eddie make a representation through your text messages that the garage was cleaned out? He was going to come out and fix the garage. Is that accurate?
He just kept telling me that he'll let me know when his handyman workers will be available because they have other projects.
Okay. Can you tell me what the state of the garage is from the time you occupied it, from the time you took occupancy? What does the garage look like? I know we have included video as well on that for both Mr. Noble and for the judge. What does the garage look like?
So half of it is done and the other half isn't done, and it needs just to be put more of like the drywalls all along the right side of the garage. So half of it is done, the other half isn't done.
Does it look like the insulation's maybe hanging down as well too? Like it's in mass disarray. Had Eddie made a representation to you prior to you occupying the property that he was going to fix that? Yeah,
at first, but then it became like he didn't really care about it anymore.
Okay. All right. Let's flash forward a little bit to June then. In June, did you start having water issues in your property at that time? Any other?
Yes, I did. And I also had that problem with my toilet. It was flushing on its own.
So I also included a video clip, Your Honor, on that flash drive of the toilet. I'll call it the phantom toilet, where it's flushing on its own. Counsel, I don't know if you have an objection, but I'd sent that video to you as well. So the toilet just started. Did you send a video clip of that to Eddie at that time about the toilet?
I did.
Okay. Has that toilet been fixed?
It has not.
Okay. So does it still run now, or did you have to disconnect it?
I disconnected it, but when I turn on like the shower, for example, it just continues to flush on its own.
Okay. Around June or July, did you have any leaking issues in your basement?
I did. Mm-hmm.
Did you notify Mr. Batros about that?
I did.
Okay. Did you send him pictures?
I did.
Okay. I included those, counsel and judge, in my flash drive as well, of water in the basement. Did that start to concern you, knowing that there was what you believed at that time to be mold, that there was now more moisture coming in from the foundation?
Yes.
Okay. And At that time period, did Mr. Buttress start contacting you about a dog at your property?
Yes, and then he decided to say that it's my fault because I have dogs there and they're pissing there or something like that. And then when I showed him pictures of like the tile coming out of the floor, he said he went and stated that's because there's dogs walking around there. And like anything like the mailbox, for example, it was unattached. He said, you broke it, you need to fix it. Like he was just making it seem like everything was my fault at that point.
So did you feel like you were being dismissed at that time? Is that an accurate statement? Okay. So around the end of July, did Mr. Buttress offer to, did he tell your mom to move out?
He did.
Okay. Let me back up, Miss Leonard, before you answer that. So did he tell you via text message as well that he wants you to leave?
Yes.
Did he tell you that he believed that you had a dog there, but he never served you any formal notice saying that you had a dog there?
Correct.
Okay. Did he say that he contacted an attorney at that time?
He said that he has a lawyer.
Okay. Did he ever send you any formal notice, either via lawyer or via, no? So it was all through text messages. Okay. At that point in July, did he tell you that you could get out of the property and he would refund you your security deposit back? Okay. So at that time, how did that make you feel in the property?
Well, I was honestly really upset, and he had lied to me originally because he said that he was going to be there with his 2 handyman to fix the situations, but instead it was just him. He came into, the property. We went and looked at the mailbox, and then from there he proceeded to go to the side of the porch. And he stated that I broke it because apparently, they only coated with paint once on the porch. So then he started blaming me for that. And then he went inside the house and he started to go into every single room and started to look into every single room, invading my privacy. And then when we went downstairs, he did the same thing, started recording. And then in my room, that's when he really it made me feel super uncomfortable because now he was in my room looking at everything. He didn't want to get out. And then when I asked him to leave, he wanted to sit down on my kitchen table and say that he was going to call his lawyer, which he obviously lied about. And I had a rough time getting him out with my friend. I was super uncomfortable with him at that time.
He was recording inside of the unit as your friend and you, and he was going room to room. And the purpose of his visit at that time was what?
Honestly, it was supposed to be to fix the situation, but I don't really understand why he was. I don't even know.
Okay. Sometime in August, did you have more water issues in your bathroom?
Yep.
Okay. What were those issues? Was there more leaks somewhere?
Where the laundry room, on the next room, there's a bunch of pipes, and that somehow, some way, something happened where it started to leak, and there was just water all over the basement at this point. And I don't know if I even sent that to him, but there was water all over. I could step on the floor and you could see the water coming out of the actual flooring. And then that's when I think because of that is when the mold started to appear.
Okay. Then also, was there additional leaking in a bathroom vanity? The pipes.
Yeah. The one coming down to my dresser or my.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Did you, and at that time, were you trying to contact Eddie?
I did. Okay. I let him know. I sent him videos of the water leaking and everything.
Were you getting any response at this time?
Let's see.
I'll object for foundation as to what time.
Well, if I'll direct your attention to Exhibit C. Exhibit C, there were text messages going back and forth. She was asking for repairs to be done. Otherwise, she's going to have to get a plumber to fix some stuff. And so Exhibit C is the proof that there was a repair made to the vanity that was leaking. I included a picture of the invoice as well as on the flash drive of what it looked like underneath the vanity where the leak was in the vanity.
Yep.
A picture and then the receipt of the actual repair that my client paid for, as well as the proof of payment. And that's Exhibit C and C1. At that time period, did you deduct that from your October or from your September rent? Because that was at the end of August.
I did.
You
I did.
Fix it at want to have, okay. So at the time of September 1st, then you paid your rent, which is $2,000 minus the $400 repair, correct?
Yeah, Eddie actually went somewhere. I couldn't get a hold of him, so then he gave me Marvin's phone number, who is his nephew, and then I started contacting him about having, the maintenance people come and fix it. He also left me on red quite a few times, and then at this point, I decided to just get myself a plumber.
Okay. Okay. But you did deduct that from the rent in September. And at that time period, you had the proof of the receipt. You'd sent a copy of that. Correct.
Yeah, I sent the invoice to Eddie. Eddie wasn't answering me. And then 2 days later, him and his wife show up unannounced at my house asking me why I didn't pay the rent in full.
Okay. Let's get to, okay. So at that time they were questioning that. Sometime around September, were you contacted? How did you find out that a professional mold company, HOI, was going to be coming out to the property?
Because he finally sent me a message telling me that there's someone going to come by, and I wanted to know specifically who was that someone. And then he told me a guy from HOI is coming.
Okay. Did you have direct communication then with Chase Owens from HOI?
Yes, I made sure to have conversation. Yeah, yes.
Okay. Okay, I would respectfully direct everyone's attention then to Exhibit D. That is the series of text messages between Chase Owens from HOI Mold Company and my client, Stephanie. At that time period, it appeared that actually Chase came out there, did some testing, indicated to you via text message he could not produce any of the results to you because you are not the homeowner. It does look like he used a cleaning solution at that time through those text messages. At that time period, did Chase believe that there was a certain course of action that should be protocol followed at that time?
I will object at this point.
Okay. You can read, if you would be kind enough to read the text messages that were sent to you. What was advised to you via text message from Chase?
I'll object. What exhibit are we talking about, or what are we even talking?
Exhibit D, her direct text conversations with Chase from the mold company in September.
Okay.
End of September, beginning of October.
So the question is what someone responded who's not here to testify?
He's not someone, he's a professional inspector for mold. And he said there's definitely a wrong way or a right way to do it, but they haven't really regulated mold removal in Illinois at all. They require that remediation companies register with the state, and that is about it. IICRC and IRI are private organizations that provide certifications and guidelines for removal. Those are certifications most people get or should get, which something that the handyman were not. They weren't professionals. They didn't even have proper gears. I'm sorry, no, I don't know.
But did Chase make any recommendations? So he pulled up baseboards and sprayed fungicide. The recommendations were told that there was a protocol, correct?
Yeah, he said, I can get the baseboards off on a day that works for you. I can disconnect the laundry and hook it back up for just baseboards. It shouldn't be more than a couple hours process. I told him the drywall behind the bathroom vanity, 6 inches up, needs cut out. Same for the wall between laundry and bathroom on both sides, 6 inches up. The remaining perimeter of the laundry room and the small area across needs to do the same. And then he said, what day works for me? And then he came and took off the trim, and pretty much it was exposed more.
Okay. So when he took out the baseboards, you then realized that there was a lot more of a significant issue from what you could see previously to that point in time, correct? Did Mr. Owens at least represent to you at that time that other people were supposed to come and finish the job?
Yeah, he said I
Same objection. Hearsay.
Okay. He said, I spoke with Eddie yesterday. He is sending his crew now. Marvin and Jesus should be contacting you at some point. If you don't hear anything by next week, send me a message. I will try to keep Eddie on it so you're not living with that in your basement. And then about 6 days later, I said, can you believe they still haven't came to fix the issue nor contacted me about it? And he said, yes, very believable. I was worried about that might happen. And I said, oh.
So at that time, we're now in the 2/3 of the way through October. And I back up. I should make one thing. In October 1st, did you make a full $2,000 payment?
Yes.
Okay. What was the first time or first text message that you had received back from Eddie after his apparent vacation? And I will direct your attention to Exhibit E, Stephanie, so we can follow along on the timeline that we had gone over.
I haven't spoken to him between October 27 since then.
So,
I haven't
Yeah,
spoken to him.
October 27th was, and the text message basically said, I'm back in town. I want to come do an inspection on the property. Is that accurate?
Yeah, when he came back to town, he expected me to be okay with him coming at 7 o'clock at night to inspect, I guess, the mold, and I wasn't comfortable with him being at my house at 7 o'clock at night.
Okay.
After what had happened before that.
Did you demand to have professionals at that time to come remediate?
Yes.
Okay, and that was based upon the fact that now you have open baseboards, a higher alert because a professional mold company had come out, and even though they couldn't disclose results to you, that you are now visibly seeing a large scope of black area all over baseboards, trim, walls. Are you having issues with seeing black spots on, say, your laundry
I'll
hamper?
object as to narrative and testifying for the defendant at this point.
Well, that's
You know what? I would like to ask the defendant a few questions to make sure that I have a clearer picture. Because she has said several things that are, I think, both important and relevant, but I need them fleshed out a little bit. So with that said, you, Ms. Lender, I think indicated when Attorney Noble was asking you questions that it was May of 2025 when you began at least occasionally staying with friends rather than in the house. Is that correct?
in May.
When did you first start deciding you needed to stay?
Okay. I started to stay at Fatima's house around in like August. No, hold on.
Okay.
May, June, July, August. In September.
September of 2025. Is that correct?
I think so.
Okay. Well, let me ask you, once you started, and I take it your daughter was with you when you
Yeah.
stayed elsewhere?
Mhm.
Once you started staying with friends, what did you call it? Your friends?
Yeah, my friends.
What did you say? It sounded like you said foggy motels. I didn't really understand what you said.
Oh, Fatima. That's my friend,
Fatima.
Fatima.
Okay, Fatima. That's your friend's name.
Yeah. Oh my, yeah.
Okay. So now I understand that. Between when you first started staying there sometime in September and today, how frequently did you stay there rather than in your own house?
Your Honor, I was trying to stay there as much as I could, but my money started to get very tight and my gas did too, so I had to come back here.
Was Fatima charging you to stay there?
No, she wasn't.
Okay.
But I help with food and, I help with stuff around the house, of course.
Okay. And at least until November, you continued to pay rent.
Correct.
Now, you also testified about,
Yeah.
I think you said sometime in July, he started asking you to move out.
Yes.
Is that correct?
Yes.
Why?
Because of the dog that he saw on my yard.
Was that the only reason?
Yes. I honestly, look, When I moved in, I went with him and I saw the house. I never saw these cameras. And then I don't know where one day before I moved in, I saw two cameras hooked up. I guess I would, I don't know. I feel like I was
He
being spied.
installed cameras
Yeah.
at your
Yes.
house
Yes.
sometime after you moved in?
One day before moving in, there was
Or
two
one day
cameras.
before moving in?
Yes, one day before moving in, he installed two cameras, which my neighbor in front told me. She was like, those cameras weren't there until the day before you moved in. I
Well,
hope
wait a
nobody
second
was
here.
spying on you.
What were the where were the cameras?
One camera is in front of the garage. The other camera is on the side of the house where the porch is at. And in the summer, I would go out in my underwear. And I
Okay,
didn't know.
well, what are those cameras pointed at?
One of them is pointing towards the street. The other one's pointing towards the actual, like the inside of the porch and the side of the
Okay,
yard.
okay, so the front door.
There might be one of the pictures of the security cameras that are in the flash drive as well, Your Honor.
Now, let me ask you, after in July, he asked you to move out, did he ever, and you said no, apparently, did he ever ask you to move out again?
Yes, multiple times through his text messages. I felt like he was harassing me about that.
About moving out?
Yes.
So
Yes.
fixing the problems.
Instead of fixing the problems, he was telling me to move out.
Judge,
And
I'm
how
going
long
to
did that
object right
continue?
now. Someone is feeding her testimony. I just heard him say it and she parroted it. Someone is in that room with her
I
feeding her
have
testimony.
text messages.
I have a person who just spoke and I heard him say the exact thing that she just responded to you to,
Truth
Judge.
Noble. Also, his wife, the day that they came,
Wait a second, Ms. Lender. Is someone there with you in the room?
yeah, my daughter.
It was a
And who
male
else?
voice, Judge.
Yes, ma'am.
Anybody else?
I have a friend here too. Yes.
Did he say something?
I don't know if he said anything.
Okay.
I
I want you to tell me. I want
Yeah.
you to tell me what's going on, not
Oh, I
anybody
know. I know exactly what's going. I lived this, like
Okay.
and then the day that they came to, fix the situation, the wife was the one that handled things and she said to me very rudely, she said, and she told the guys, the handyman herself, she said, "This is not mold by the way, guys. I have paperwork stating this is not mold." As we go upstairs, I said, "Excuse me, this is definitely mold." And she said, "I'm not going to argue with you. I just need to know when you're going to pay the rent. Otherwise, you can move out." And that's exactly what she said to me. So now I have both of them like trying just to kick me out.
Okay. Well, let me ask you then a very important question.
Mhm.
How soon can you be completely out of that house?
Honestly, I can be out within 2 weeks. If I can have 2 weeks. I have a lot of stuff here. I have a lot of furniture. It's a 5-bedroom house, 3 bathrooms. This whole house is filled with my stuff.
Okay. And 2 weeks from today would be
February.
February 6th.
Yes, along those. Yes.
When can you start moving stuff into your new place?
I get the key on the 1st. I already have a U-Haul and I am starting, to put everything in the U-Haul in this cold weather conditions.
Okay. All right. Mr. Noble, at this point, I'm going to ask you whether you intend to call your landlord.
Yes, Judge, unless you're making some sort of partial.
I don't want to make a ruling until you've had a chance to put on.
Yeah, no, I do ask to call my client.
Yeah. All right, go ahead.
Okay, go ahead. State your name.
Eddie Batris?
You're the landlord, correct?
Yes.
You signed the lease that's attached to Exhibit A to the complaint,
That's
correct?
correct.
You've heard the testimony given by the tenant, correct?
Yes.
One, explain what Well, did you ever install any security cameras on the rented property?
When first she came in to look the house, the cameras were there already, to the point that I explained to her that those cameras were left by the former tenants, and I didn't have no clue if those cameras were working. But the cameras, they were already there.
Okay. Did you have any internet connection that you still had access to at that location that you could even hypothetically connect to those cameras?
No, sir.
Okay. Did she have internet at rented location to your knowledge?
The tenant
Correct.
is sure, I mean, it's available.
And it wasn't under your name,
It
correct?
was not in my name.
Okay. So you had no access to any internet to possibly even connect to anything that might have been there, correct?
Oh, no way.
Okay. Let's talk about this purported mold issue and or water issues. There were efforts that you made
Yes.
regarding addressing her complaints regarding possible mold, correct?
Yes.
When was the first time that she said that there was an issue, if you remember, after the lease started?
I would like to start saying that when first we agree upon that she will be the new tenant, we make an inspection. And as we went to the inspection, I brought her to all the areas, including the area where later the mold was created. But I went around. I even opened the door behind the bathroom, and there were no mold as we walked through, or the area by the laundry where basically most of the mold is concentrated.
So you said created. When did this, do you believe, mold come into existence in creation? Before or after the tenancy started?
After.
When?
A couple months later, I received a call saying that the drain was clogged and it was not working properly. The handyman went.
Which drain? In the basement or up on the first?
In the basement.
In the basement, okay.
The handyman went, they did the work, and they found out that there were stuff, I don't know how to say the proper word, but towels, female towels, that were found on the drain together with some other issues that caused the clog. So it was repaired, and I spoke with her, and I asked her, please be sure that these items are not going into the toilet or other areas, because that was the reason why the drain was damaged. At the same time, few weeks later, she called me again saying that the same thing happened. And again, the handyman went immediately, and when they went, they found out that the pump again was filled of items, including a towel that was not supposed to be there. They continue putting stuff even though I asked her not to do it. And what they found burned out the pump, and we ended up buying another pump to fix the issue. So negligence was happening in this situation here. And what happened?
But you paid to remedy at that point, correct?
Yes.
So there was water in the basement at some point as a result of the
Exactly.
we'll say sump pump not functioning, and
also,
then what happened?
And also, I was told by her that she tried a couple of washers, and they didn't work properly, and they were draining out water in the area, because the mold is mainly concentrated in the laundry, and also next to the bathroom, and right next where the pump is.
What are the steps that you took to try to remediate any mold substance that was on the property?
Immediately, we tried to make appointments. We started going back and forth. she started canceling appointments, even though when the handymen were at the door, claiming that she didn't have time, that she was not at the house. And this didn't happen once. It happens repeatedly times that this situation was going.
What period in time are you right now when you're talking about
We are
handyman coming
talking
out?
May, June, July, August. There were months.
Okay. At
That-
some point, a more professional, will say, person who did more than spray algicide and or bleach came in, correct?
That's correct.
Who was that?
He is an expert on the matter. We have used before his services.
Okay.
He is a person that knows what he does.
When did he come out and do that?
He was there back on August. Let me read. See, in August.
In August of
Yes.
2025?
Yes.
Okay. And did he test for mold?
Yes, he did.
Was there any black mold?
I don't know exactly about the issue, but he said that he has found some, that the situation is not critical, but it needed to be fixed. And I told here the importance part here is to fix it to the best that he can. And he told me that he was going to do it. He tried to call her many times, send text. She didn't answer them until a few weeks after that finally he could go back and complete the work.
Okay.
The same.
It's all hearsay.
Yeah.
He doesn't
So-
even have texts.
Sure. Did you get paid any, so the 2000, or the amount on the 5-day was representative of, I guess, the $416 that I think Ms. Lender testified to that she deducted unilaterally from rent without sending you any certified mailing or anything to fix the vanity, as she
Yeah,
testified to, correct?
I was not aware, and I'm very surprised if she did take the time to fix that. Why she didn't take the time to fix the other stuff that was not working properly?
Okay, so she didn't send you any certified letter or any letter saying she was going to deduct things from the rent. She just did it.
Never did it.
Okay. And then she didn't pay for November's rent as well, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
We try on the after the advice from the mall professional. We try several times to go back with two of the handymen that they are the ones who do most of the work, and everything finally was staged. And then the day before they were supposed to go, she sent me a text saying that she's going to have to cancel the appointment. This is one or too many, because she was not at home. This is a week around Thanksgiving. And she told me that she got to go to Florida and she got to make some stuff. And she says, but they can come Sunday. I called the handyman and I said, well, it was canceled. Can you come Sunday? And they said, unfortunately, we cannot. We got family and we got church to go.
Okay, but after
All
that,
right.
go ahead,
Does
Judge.
your client have any of these texts?
I believe some of them may be included in what was sent to you by the other side, Judge, but
Yeah,
yes, he does.
I do have it, sir.
Go ahead.
I-
Mr. Noble.
Sure.
Can I say something? Am I
No.
allowed?
No.
Payment was not tendered within 5 days after the 5-day was served, correct?
Correct.
And as you sit here now, no rent payments have been made since November, and then including the deduction of 416 pursuant to the terms of the lease, correct?
All right.
There's been testimony that you allegedly told Miss Lender to move out multiple times. Did you do that?
It happens after the dog, because there was a giving point that unfortunately.
Okay, so you did, but it was after the dog, correct?
Yeah. I went to talk to her.
There was testimony regarding Miss Lender saying her mom was in the property and then you supposedly told her to move out because her mom was in the property? Was that true?
That's not true.
Okay.
I know her mom, and some of the reasons that I truly believe that are important in the family is the communication between members of the family. And obviously, I get to know her mom. I spoke with her a couple times, and I never will have the courage to tell her to move out.
So, oh, mom did live there. Okay.
Yeah, mom lived there.
Is mom living there now, to your knowledge?
Mom and daughter was in the contract. They were the only three people that were on the contract at the time of the signing.
Okay. And you signed that contract and so did the tenant, correct?
That's correct.
Okay.
But going back to the question, she told me that her dog got a tumor.
Who's her in your statement?
The tenant's dog.
Miss Lender?
Yes.
What dog is that?
It's the dog that I had in the picture here, the one that we saw first.
So you disagree that that was some neighbor's dog that her
I
dog was
disagree
watching?
because she told me that this dog was her dog, and she apologized to me saying that she couldn't get rid of her because she already passed away. She already died because the dog had a tumor. I gave her my condolences that particular day. It was the time when my wife and myself came in, and I told her that day that unfortunately our communication was going not the right way, and my wife will help us to communicate better with her. But unfortunately, we tried to do it. Cancellations were continue and behaviors were continuing.
Nothing further, Judge.
Ms. Mason, I've heard a lot of testimony and evidence this morning. Is there anything else that you'd like to elicit?
Could cross-examine the Mr.
Oh,
Noble's
yeah.
client
All right.
just for a couple of minutes, Your Honor.
Right.
Just a few seconds. Mr. Botras, did you make representations to Ms. Lender that you were going to paint mold in early July?
To what?
To paint over the mold in early July?
The situation was going on in between appointments for me to get the professional to do the work. And
That's not my question. That's not my question.
Listen, please. And it was so difficult for me to communicate because the lack of communication that it was going on. She was not answering. She was not.
Just can you correct the witness?
Answer the question you were asked, please.
Okay.
Thank you. Did you make representations to Ms. Lender that you were going to paint the mold in July, or I'm sorry, in June, in early June?
Once I knew that there was mold, obviously the purpose was to fix the problem.
The answer is either yes or no, Mr. Botras. Did you paint the mold? You painted the mold in June.
Well, let me explain this. You are saying when can you elaborate a little bit to me?
I'm asking, I know you sent somebody out there to clean it with bleach. Did you paint or make representations to Ms. Lender that you were going to paint over the mold?
Let me explain. Let me explain.
No, sir.
Yes
It's
no.
just a yes or no question.
It's not the area.
Tell Ms. Lender that you were going to paint the mold.
Okay, this is a different area. We are talking next to the.
Okay, that's enough. That's enough. Next question.
Next question. Did you make representations you were going to fix the garage, and has that been done? Yes or no?
The garage was supposed to be fixed from the beginning. The handyman showed up few times. She had stuff on her garage that she told me that she was going to move inside her house. How can I fix the garage? She told me that she will move
Did you ever
and have it
fix
ready
the
to be
garage,
fixed.
sir?
Did you
Has
fix
it
the
ever
garage?
been
The,
fixed?
the garage is not fixed because the garage was not empty to be fixed.
If I were to show you a text
Has
message
the
from,
mold been remediated?
Sorry?
Has the mold been remediated?
According to the professional that went and took care, yes.
You have a representation from this Mr. Owens fella that it's been fixed?
According to the letter that according what he told me, it was cured.
Mr. Noble, do you have a letter from HOI saying it's been remediated?
I have something that says he's spraying fungicide to help kill the surface mold on the baseboards. Unable to schedule a tenant until mid-December. That's what I have, Judge. I think I
All
heard
right,
testimony
thank you.
that occurred, but
Thank
yeah.
you. So as far as you know, that mold has never been fully remediated. Is that correct, sir?
I was under an impression that it was fixed by the professional, sir.
Based on that letter?
That's what he told me.
That isn't what that letter says. That letter doesn't say anything like that.
The letter goes on, Judge, if we're doing this. It says, after scheduling with tenant, I removed the baseboard. This is from Chase. I removed the
Yeah,
baseboards as
he said he
requested.
removed the baseboards.
Yeah.
So it's consistent with her testimony, not with your clients.
I think if you look at the videos that have been submitted, that will be helpful to you, but regardless.
That show me the mold?
That show what was done and what's there and what's not.
The videos that plaintiff submitted to me?
No, defendant.
I mean defendant, excuse
Yes.
me.
Yep. I reviewed them.
You're saying the same videos that show me the mold in the basement as it exists today, apparently, are going to convince me that it's been remediated?
No. Has not the work was not completed because she canceled the following
Stop.
work.
You need to stop. You just keep digging this hole deeper and deeper. You know, I've been doing a lot of evictions for a lot of years. And I got to tell you, sir, that your testimony here today isn't even consistent with your own emails or text messages. I'm not worried about the cameras. That's a red herring. I'm not worried about the vanity being fixed. That's a red herring. I'm worried about the fact that this house is in such a state that it is not habitable, that she has chosen, because of a problem that's been unremediated for months, to take her child and live somewhere else other than the 5-bedroom house that she's paying $2,000 a month to live in. Moreover, this may be the only case of constructive eviction that it seems to me happened. That you told her you wanted her out, and then proceeded to ignore her problems, blame them on her, and essentially tell her, if you don't like it, get out. And oh, by the way, you better pay me my rent. This eviction action is dismissed, and the rent paid is abated. There is no rent owed. Because I've dismissed your eviction action, she's under no obligation to leave the premises. She's volunteered that she'll be out in 2 weeks. I'm going to tell you that because of what happened today, that if she's not out in 2 weeks, you have leave to file a new eviction case. But sir, I gotta be honest. You just don't strike me as a very honest person. You wouldn't even answer questions directly from the court. Let me explain. You know, it doesn't really matter if the drain was clogged because of sanitary napkins. You have an obligation, a landlord under the lease, to fix it. And to tell her, don't do this anymore. And finding them in the finding them in the drain doesn't mean that she continued to add things, because later you found sanitary napkins or a towel that a child could have flushed down the toilet in the sump pump. And sending 2 day laborers to try to remediate mold is negligent on your part. And it doesn't matter if it was black mold or if it's a totally dormant mold. It needs to be remediated. And that means removal of drywall. It means cleaning the studs. It means making sure everything is dry and all of the mold is gone, or it just keeps coming back. Yeah, stare at the ceiling. Stare at the ceiling. That's it for today. Thank you all.
Thank you, Judge.
Judge. Oh.
I'll call you, Stephanie.
All right.